Hi guys, my name is Courtney. We're going to be working on Heels 101. Serena is my helper. She's the best. What Heels 101 is for is refining that heels technique, making sure all of those technical abilities are being reinforced. Or if you've got those studio dancers or you are a studio dancer that's looking to work on cruise ships, dancing for Beyonce, step into the musical theater world. For the most part, in the professional dance industry, as a female, you're going to be in those heels. Let's make sure we're training safe and smart. The first thing that we're going to work on is you need to make sure that your muscles are in gear, you're getting that cardio in. Serena, do a couple jumping jacks for me. When you're doing these jumping jacks, you want to make sure that heel touches the floor every single time. There we go. Get into some running on the spot for me. Making sure those heels touch the floor every single time, and some high knees. If those heels are not on the floor, you put a lot of pressure on that Achilles tendon, and you do not want to do that. Thank you. So after we work through some cardio, making sure we're nice and warm, making sure we've got those heels on the floor, we are going to work on some rises. What rises do is they really strengthen those ankles. So if you need to really reinforce that strength, this is the way to go. If you want to start working into a thinner heel or into a higher heel, you need to have the strength to be able to do that. So Serena is going to stand face aside for me. With what she's going to do is drop this tailbone down to the floor. Do you see how that pelvis aligns? Lift up one more time. Stand nice and tall. This is how we like to stand. It's hella cute, but I want you to drop that tailbone down. So now your spine is long and your lower tummy is engaged. Keep holding that as long as this exercise goes. Face the front. What you're going to do is keep your feet hip width apart. Make sure your feet are parallel. This is a really nice way to make sure you're just really focusing in on that ankle strength. What we're going to do is we're going to rise up for 8 counts and lower for 8 counts. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want that transition to be nice and smooth. Another thing I want you to think about is pulling up from your kneecaps and engaging through the top of your thigh. What that does is it reinforces that balance even more from that hip flex or from that lower tummy and those hips being in that nice flat position. So we're going to rise up again, 8 counts down, up and 8 counts down. When you're rising up, make sure there's no wiggles and wobbles, and on the way down, don't let those heels drop too early. So we don't want any of this happening. Just like Serena demonstrated, it's strong and smooth. We're going to do that a total of 4 times. After that, we're going to break down the time in half. So we're going to go up 4 counts, down 4 counts. Same thing. We rise up, 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. We repeat that again 4 times. Yes. From there, we're cutting the time in half again. 2 counts up, 2 counts down, 8 times. So we're a little bit quicker, but doubling up those reps. So we're going up, up, down, down, up, down, down. We're making sure that hips are in the right position. They're not tipping forward, lengthening down. We're pulling up through the tops of our thighs. After we repeat that 8 times, we go into single counts. These are nice and quick, really working on the agility. We go up, 1 and down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, keeping those shoulders locked in, up, down, up, down. Good. That's a really nice place to start, no matter what level you are. If you're more of an advanced dancer, more of an intermediate heels dancer, what you want to do next is work that same exercise turned out. Why we're working this turned out is because once we get into all of those batmas, once we get into all of those jumps, you're working from a turned out position, not just a parallel position anymore. So from here, we're making sure that tailbone is dropped to the floor. We're pulling up through those legs. This is going to get an entirely different set of muscles that we're going to be working with. So we repeat the whole exercise. We go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We repeat that 4 times total. Then we're going to move into our 4 counts. We rise up, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 3, 2, 1. What helps here is your breathing. Your breathing needs to really be in touch when you're doing that. After 4 times of those 4 counts, we go into 2 counts. 8 times, we rise up, 1, 2, and down for 2. Up, up, down, down. Making sure we've got a nice straight line coming in on the inside of that foot. After we do those 8 reps, single count, we rise up, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8. Yes. You can take a balance in that parallel position. You can take a balance in that turned out position. Those are really important positions that you're going to be working from. And balance is so, so, so important. One more stretch we're going to do without our heels on before we throw those babies on is we're going to work from a second position. So face this side for me. You're going to take a nice wide second position. You're going to bend those knees and drop down. What I'm looking for is to make sure those knees are over top of those toes and that tailbone is dropping as low as it can. So you really want to lengthen that spine down, 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 down. Good. Face the front. When you're in this exercise, press down into that position. So you're working from this nice wide position. What you're going to do here is bounce. Your arms can be wherever they need to be for balance, and you're going to work on bouncing down. We're going to go down, 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 down. I like to do 8 to 16 reps with this exercise. The second step is lifting up this foot into a nice high retire and keep bouncing down. This is really hard. This is much more advanced exercise because this is where you're going to be in that heel. Switch feet. Again, 8 to 16 on each side, keeping bouncing down, not bouncing up. And then I want you to rise both heels and hold. So you're still working for that straight line. You're working for that popper posture. Relax. That is a very advanced, hard position to hold, but it is so important, especially when we're getting into linking steps, we're getting into choreography. You really want to work on training that body position. All right? Sora and I are going to put our heels on, and then we're going to get into some more jazz technique. All right? Okay, heels are on. Let's talk about pirouettes because this will change your weight immensely if you're used to dancing in a jazz shoe or in bare feet. So you're going to take a 4th pirouette position prep right here. Be a little bit bigger. Bend those legs like you're about to go into a pirouette. What's going to happen because you're getting such a big lift in those heels is your pelvis wants to tip back automatically. That's how your body thinks it's going to counterbalance. That is not how we can go into our turns. So you are going to need to flatten that pelvis out even more. So a nice deep plie, and you're lengthening this out. For some of more of our technical dancers, you're going to feel a big concave, but really you're just working for that nice long position. It's going to be something that we need to get used to. An exercise you can help with those pirouettes. So coming from this position, arms out nice and strong. You do not have that 4 inches that you usually have in your foot to use that momentum to come up. You're working with maybe 1 or 2 inches, and that's it. That's why we did so many rises. From here, Serena, all I want you to do is pull up into a retire position, up, and you're going to lift up off that heel. Yes. So we don't have very many places to go. Come back down into that position. Press back. Good. 4 times you can repeat this. Ready? Press up to really make sure that you're finding that new center. Come back down. Prep it. One more time. Press up and down. And make sure you're bending that back leg. Yes. You want that nice deep 4th position. Pulling up. Good. From there, relax for 1 second. When you're doing that pirouette position, pulling from here, you are working parallel, not turned out. We're not going into that passe position, not in these heels. We're going into that pirouette position, that nice parallel retire. From there, what you need to do is use that outside arm, pull yourself in. Yes, everything's going to pull straight up. Try that once for me, Sora. Pressing down into that pirouette and push it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then pull around. Up. Yes, that was lovely. Warm-ups are so important. What I want you to work on. So again, after we've done that rise and hold in our retire, you can work on those pirouettes. I like to do 4 on the right, 4 on the left. Make sure you're coming out of those turns strong. Don't just flop out and then get your shoes on and get ready to go. You need to make sure you're coming out of them controlled, whether you're stepping out to the side, you're stepping out to the front, you're going to step in and together. Because in your choreography, you're never just going to do this nice strong pirouette and then flop off stage. You're going to come out of it. Your transitions need to be so important. So from here, a nice strong position is stepping out into that rock. So I'm pressing down. Because I can't work through my feet like I would if I were barefoot, I really want to drop my weight down. Yes, that is going to help counteract those pirouettes. Another way that you can work it from here is pulling up, stepping out to the side. So you're going to get a little bit more of an over rotation, dropping that weight down. Pirouettes, they're so important. Really need to work on them in those advanced classes. That's your starting point. Then you add those doubles, those triples. The most I've ever done is a quadruple. And people saw, I was so impressed with myself. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So I wish somebody videotaped it. It's fine. Next thing we're going to work on is batmas. So those nice big kicks in our heels. Same thing, face the side, so we're in a nice turned out position. This is when we start adding this turned out position. Kicking parallel, you're not going to get that leg very high. You need to work from that turned out position. Again, sore, we're going to have to really press that tailbone down so that back is nice and flat. Bring those arms out. From here, you're going to lift that leg and shoot it up and bring it back down. That landing is so important because you're building your strength, you're building your stamina. One more time, press it up and down. Good. I'm going to do a couple facing the front so you can see. So we're working out to a second position. This leg is coming straight out and popping back down. And I drop that pelvis so that my spine can align nice and long, pushing everything out, up, dropping that center down. Again, trying that on both sides 4 to 8 times. You can also work in a forward position. So right from here, you're going to lift that leg up. Do you see the difference between that front position up here and that side position out here? Work both sides. Make sure you're not just practicing your good side. Your good side doesn't need all the practice. Your side that needs work is the one that you really need to put the time in. What we're going to do is work on floor work. So instead of dropping right into your split, we're going to work a jazz split. Let's break this down. What it looks like, I'll show you once, and we'll break it down with Serena, is lengthening out that front foot and sliding down. So even if you don't have that right and left split flexibility, this is a nice way to fake it. It's a nice, nice touch to add into your freestyle. So when we're breaking it down nice and slow, we're going to start on an angle. Lift up this back arm sore, lengthen this front one out. What you're going to do is take this front leg, point it out. You really want it to be nice and turned out so that your heel doesn't rip up the floor. Turned out and stretch. You're going to bend this back leg. When you're getting started, you want to put this hand on the floor as soon as you can. Yes, it's a little bit scary. And slide forward. Let's do it one more time. Yes, and lengthen that out. Lovely presentation. Good. So one more time, we're lengthening up. Watch for a sickle. I don't want you to relax that ankle on the way down. I want you to engage those muscles we've been working on and lengthen to the floor. So we drop, lengthen, 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 lengthen. Good. And then you can push forward. That is a nice, easy first step into getting comfortable with transitioning up and down instead of just stepping up and stepping down. Yes? Last thing that we're going to work on, so that was a lot of jazz training, but Heels 101 is not just jazz training in your heels. Heels 101 touches on the urban side of choreography. Anything you see in music videos, on tours, usually you're going to be in that nice high heel. Your weight placement changes. A lot of times I was telling Sor, you need to be up nice and tall, long back. That's completely opposite when you get into your urban choreography. Stand nice and wide, Sor. Legs are nice and relaxed. What I want you to think is when you're doing that jazz technique, you've got all of this weight sitting up in here. I want you to breathe in, and now drop that weight down. So your weight should be nice and heavy right here. Breathe in again. Good. Where your weight should be, on your heel. Don't put your weight into that stiletto if you're in stilettos because it's a teeny tiny little stilt holding you up. You want that weight to be right in the ball of your foot. So right here is where you want that weight to be, not on your toes, so that you're nice and grounded. What you can start with getting comfortable, keeping those knees bent, is a forward groove. All you're going to do is rock front, front, front. I'll give you a nice side angle. Front, front, keeping that weight low, keeping those feet turned out just a little bit. We're going to back rock. We're going to go back, back. So I'm keeping my knees relaxed. I'm keeping that weight heavy into my pelvis. And let's rock it out side to side, 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 side. Start there. Figure out where your weight needs to be, where you're most comfortable. Drop that weight low and find your own groove in there. Add in some of those freestyle elements, some of those party grooves in hip hop, anything like the Steve Martin, anything like the Cabbage Patch, anything that's gonna get your feet moving, get that weight transferring is so, so important. Again, hip hop and freestyle is your own groove, it's your own feel. Find that center of gravity nice and low. One more thing that we're gonna do, take those heels off really quick, is we're gonna stretch our feet out. For new dancers, for beginner dancers, for anyone breaking their heels in, that's a lot of pressure you're putting on your feet, and they can get really, really, really sore. What I want you to do to stretch them out, this is more for your advanced students as well, onto your knees sore, hands are gonna go on the floor. All we're gonna do is pop straight up and give a nice stretch through the tops of our legs. We put a lot of strain and a lot of work in here through the bottoms. Come down, relax. Really want to work those tops of those feet, stretch them out. Try that a couple times. One more stretch, sore, stretch it up. You got a nice long line, keeping those heels together. Good. Come down, one more thing, face the front. All you're gonna do, sore, is pop up on those feet, and you're gonna rock front and back. Good, just like that. This is working that underside of your feet. With these new dancers that are still developing, you want those feet to be taken care of. A lot of injuries start from your feet, so make sure that at the end of the day, you're cooling them down, you're stretching the tops of them, you're stretching underneath of them, and that is how you need to finish all those classes. How do you feel, sore? Good. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me with Heels 101. I'll see you soon.